Hello everyone! Today let's talk timelines. Twyla is a relatively new program that is a very visual timeline for family history enthusiasts. Let's learn a little bit more about it. The mission of Twyla is to make family history exciting and engaging for the whole family and preserve as many memories as possible for the future generations. Twyla is a winner of 2 Roots Tech Innovation Awards, and in February of 2018, just 1 week before Roots Tech started, Twyla joined the Find My Past family. So what is Twyla? According to Paul Brooks, the CEO of Twyla, Twyla is a visual timeline of you, your ancestors, and your descendants. The name Twyla is a play on the word erstwhile, which means of the past. The main features are the timeline itself, the ability to add milestones, and the import capability from Family Search. Twyla encourages families to record recent family history as well as their ancestors. It's the family get-togethers, birthdays, and holidays. Those memories are as important as the ones that are 100 years old. So how do you get to Twyla? Very easy. Just pick your favorite browser, type in Twyla, TWILE.com, and off you go. This is the landing page of Twyla. And this is the welcome page. This is where you can sign up for your free Twyla timeline. You want to make sure that you read the terms and the privacy policy that are listed at the bottom. If you've already done this stuff, the next time you come in, the welcome screen will just say welcome back. This is the basic screen. You can see that there's a timeline tab and a family tree tab. You can create a timeline in 2 ways. The first way is that you can use the Add button and add milestones, events, and photos for an ancestor or descendant, 1 person at a time. The second option is to import your family tree from Family Search and then add to that. Let's look at each option. On the timeline, when you click on the Add button, you will be given the option to choose a milestone, an event, upload pictures, or import from Facebook. I'm going to start with me. Twyla has created they've pre-formatted many milestones that you can choose from. I started the logical one for me, my birth. If none of the milestones work for you, you can also create a custom milestone at the bottom of the milestone page. This is my very first entry on the timeline. I really like how it looks. The only thing I haven't quite figured out is when you use milestones, my maiden name gets doubled every time. I haven't found a perfect way around that yet. I know that I can add a milestone just as a plain event and that it won't double the name. But doing that makes it less colorful because you lose the milestone tag. And besides, right now I kind of like the pink, and I think the little baby buggy is cute. Now let's add an event. This is very freeform and you can pretty much add anything. I chose to add my bout with rheumatic fever. When I was 4, I remember spending a lot of time watching Captain Kangaroo and coloring because I had to stay down in bed. When I added this event and the location, a map was also added automatically. Thanks, Google. Here you can see that I've added a couple more milestones. This moved milestone was a custom milestone. In addition, next to the Add button is an In View button. Let's check out and see what that is. This is what you see when you click on the In View button. You can choose groups of people you want to see on your timeline, all family or close family, or just a timeline of a single person. You can also use the slider button to add historical events that interest you, such as American presidents or colorful heritage or inventions, World War I, World War II, and those streams. I'm working on just a single timeline, my own, and I decided to add inventions to it. It looks like technology was just starting to really take off because around my earlier years, the laser, optical disc, cassette tapes, and the computer mouse were all invented. Play with the historical streams and see what was happening in your life and the life of your ancestors. It's also really helpful for context if you're writing a narrative about an ancestor or a family member. If you click on the object, you'll get an explanation of the historical event. Here's a little story of the cassette tape. In 1962, Philips invented the compact cassette medium for audio storage, introducing it in Europe on the 30th of August 1963 at the Berlin Radio Show, and in the United States under the Norelco brand. Hey, I thought they just made razors. In November 1964, with the trademark name Compact Cassette. The team at Philips was led by Lou Ottens in Hasselt, Belgium. Here's another view of the timeline for all family. This will have everybody from your family tree on there. You'll notice at the bottom, my earliest ancestor on my family tree is 1838. Here's the view of the timeline for close family. Close family is going to be your immediate family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, that bunch. Now let's look at the family tree option. You have the option of importing from Family Search or importing a GEDCOM from another program. Right now we're going to use the import from Family Search. You want to make sure and read this information before you click on Start Import, especially the little warning that says this will discard and replace all existing people and milestones on your tree and timeline. This is talking about your timeline in the Twyla program, not your timeline or on your tree or anything like that, a Family Search. Here's what an imported tree looks like. When you click on any of the people, you'll also be able to see a little more about them. The blue boxes were just for color and for the privacy of my kids. You can also delete your tree and start over if you need to. Just be forewarned that if you reset your tree, you will delete everyone except you, and it will delete all the milestones that you created for your tree. Use this with extreme caution. One last part of the program is the infographic, and it's really fun. You can create an infographic for your family. I picked the Americana template, and you have a few others to pick from. Looking at this infographic, I can see that overall we've been a very unproductive family, averaging 1 4/5 children per family. There are more males than females, and the average age of death was 65. Yikes, that's young. The infographic tab is found under the Family Tree tab. So those are the basics of the Twyla program. Now we're going to take a look at the timeline that I built out just for me. This doesn't have anything on the tree, on my timeline. It's just for me. I don't have any of the streams. I don't have any close family added in. This is just me. So I thought I'd start at the beginning, just give you an idea of what it would look like. I started with my birth, and I've added some milestones of my life. Birth, I added a picture when I was little with my daddy. High school graduation, my engagement, college graduation, when I got married, those kinds of things. The other side of it looks like my service at the Provo Missionary Training Center, a couple of trips for anniversaries, and the fact that I got my knee replaced last year. Those may not be events that you would add on your timeline, but those are things that going forward I would like my descendants to know about. The one that is particularly special to me is the ring on the left hand, in the bottom left-hand corner. That is a blue topaz ring. That's my oldest daughter's birthstone, and my oldest daughter passed away when she was 3. And so I just wanted everybody that sees this timeline to know that I wear that every day, and hopefully my descendants will see how important that ring was to me. So if we go ahead and take this timeline now, and I'll show you what it looks like when we add, I added presidents and inventions to my timeline. and it builds it way out. And so you can see right around the time I was born, you've got your CD up there, you've got your cassette tapes. President Kennedy's there in 1961, the computer mouse, my dad and I in 1963, and then John F. Kennedy's assassination, and all of those historical things that were going on. I find history fascinating, and when I showed this to my kids and actually put it in a little bit of context for them, they could see they were a little more interested in my life history than they've been in the past. I think it was really helpful because they could see, and they're in their very early 30s, they could see that they could realize that I grew up mostly without a computer, and I didn't have a phone attached to my hand. Plus, I had to wait for quite a while for a Walkman to play my own personal music going into my own personal earbuds. So, funny thing, I still survived even without those things until I was older. But showing my kids and having my kids show the least bit of interest was a win for me. Please visit our homepage to find out more about our one-on-one help, our in-library classes, and our library resources. And be sure to subscribe to our BYU Family History YouTube channel for more short family history videos and in-depth webinars. Thanks for watching today. Have a great day.